Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I'm Pooja, your science teacher from Vista's Learning. I welcome you all for Vista's Learning. Today, in this session, what are we going to learn about? Let us understand about all those topics later. Before that, let us look into about the Vista's Learning. What is Vista's Learning? What is our motto here? Quality education for all. That is our motto. So we are actually having classes from first standard till 12th standard. You can watch all our videos. If you like them, you can share it with your friends and family also. Then why to waste time? Let us get into the topic. As you all can see, we were talking about the chapter sound, right? In that, we discussed many topics, and today again we will be talking about more other topics in sound. How sound can travel, how do we hear sound? We will discuss about all those points in today's class. You all are ready, right? Yes, the first topic which we all are going to discuss is sound needs a medium for propagation. So let us try to understand then how actually sound propagates, how it travels from one place to another, how you can hear any other person talking, or now I'm speaking, you all are listening to me. How is that happening? We had told in our previous session that there would be vibrations created. Because of those vibrations, actually we are hearing the sound, isn't it? Yes. So let us try to understand with one example. As you all can see here, let us take a glass tumbler or a glass, and we will make sure that glass is actually dry. There is no water content in that. What do? We will place a cell phone inside that, and then we will ask our friend to give a ring to it. Then what will happen? That glass actually starts to vibrate, right? Because the phone is actually vibrating, the glass also starts to vibrate. Then what do? We'll take this particular glass and keep it near our mouth like this. We will take a glass and keep it near our mouth like this. So what happens that time? We will start sucking the air inside. Whatever the air is there in that glass tumbler, we will try to suck inside. And again, we will tell our friend to give a ring. So what happens that time? First also you heard the ring. It was very loud enough. But when you're actually sucking the air inside, the loud, whatever the ring was there, the loudness will actually decrease. So why will that happen like that? Why the ringing sound is actually reduced? Let us try to understand about it. It is possible that the decreasing amount of air in the tumbler has something to do with the decreasing of the loudness. Isn't it? Initially, when the phone was ringing, you could hear it very loud, but when you're sucking the air inside through by holding it near your mouth, what is happening? So the loudness is actually reduced. So why is it happening? The reason is the sound needs a medium for propagation. I hope you all can see here. So we have mentioned that it actually requires a medium for propagation. If there is no medium, the sound actually cannot travel. So when air has been removed completely from a vessel, it is said to be a vacuum. So it is very important to understand about vacuum. Why? Because we are telling sound needs a medium for propagation. If there is vacuum, the sound cannot propagate. And then what is vacuum? If we completely remove the air from that particular glass tumbler or any place, that particular place is actually called as a vacuum, where there is no air at all. So I hope you all have understood what is vacuum basically. So in vacuum, sound cannot propagate. Sound needs a medium. That is, sound cannot travel through a vacuum. It is a very important point because you might get a question like, can sound actually travel through a vacuum? The answer would be no, because sound needs a medium for propagation. So I hope you all have understood about these points. Yes. Now let us go and check into one more activity. So what is this activity? What we will do is that we will take a tub like this. What do? We fill the water in that. And then we will take a bell and we will go and ring it inside the water. So what happens? You go near the water surface and try to hear that sound. So what happens? Can you all hear the sound? So how will be the sound? Will it be very loud or very less? So how the sound it will be? So as you all are seeing here, we have taken a tub, we have filled it with water, and we are actually having a bell here. You all can see. So what do we do here? We are actually ringing that bell. So there would be a sound which you all can hear like this, isn't it? So what can we understand from this? Let us look into those points. And not only that, let us try to understand this example also. What is this then? So there is a table here as you all can see. So you and your friend can actually do this activity. You be on this side, your friend be on this side. What do? So you tell your friend to scratch that particular table. So what happens? If you go near that table and hear to that, can you hear the sound of the scratching? Is it possible to hear the sound of the scratching? So this person, can he able to hear the sound? You all can see the sound, the vibrations which is coming in this direction, isn't it? Because your friend is scratching that particular wooden table, or it could be a metallic table. So what happens? You will be able to hear that scratching sound, isn't it? You all can definitely try this experiment and check whether you're able to hear the sound or not. So we find that sound can travel through wood, metal. In fact, sound can travel through any solid. That is what we were looking into. First, we saw that where inside the water we were ringing the bell, and for that you could hear the sound. And after that, through wood also, or it could be metallic body, you can hear the scratch also. So from all those activities, what are we understanding? We understand that sound can travel through any solid. So this is also one of the important point where sound travels through any solid. And the one more experiment. You all might have played this game, isn't it? Have you ever prepared a toy telephone? If not, let us try to do one. You can take a cup, 2 cups, and a thread and the matchstick. You all can see like this, right? So you will tie the matchstick here. Through the cup, you will make a hole and get that thread this side. Through the another cup, you will take it inside and again you will tie it to the matchstick. So what happens here? Whenever you both are using this particular toy telephone, you will be able to hear. Why? Because we understood that through vibrations, we are hearing the sound, and there would be vibrations which are traveling here. Yes, sound travels in a solid, that we all understood, and there would be vibrations because of which you will be able to hear one another. So you all can try this particular activity also. You can learn along with having fun with science. So isn't this experiment interesting? Yes. So let us try to understand what that experiment is actually telling us. Vibrating objects produce sound, and it is carried in all the direction in a medium. The sound is actually carried in all the direction, but it requires a medium. That is what we all understood right now. The medium could be a gas or a liquid, or it could be a solid. We had done so many activities and experiments in this session as I discussed now. So through all these examples, what did we understand? We understood that the medium could be a gas, or it could be a liquid, or it could be the solid also. I hope you all have understood about how sound actually needs a medium for propagation, and sound cannot travel in vacuum. And the medium could be solid, liquid, or it could be gas also. Then after this, what are we going to talk about? How do you hear sound? So now I'm talking. You all are hearing to me or you all are listening to me. How is that happening? How are you listening to me? Which part of the body is helping us to listen to all these types of sounds? In our previous session, we discussed about different kinds of sound, right? So how are you able to hear all this sound? So how do you hear sound? That is through our ear. We all have the ear. So we hear the sound through the ears. So I hope you all know this, right? Yes, then let us try to understand how actually the mechanisms takes place in our ear. The first point is the shape of the outer part of the ear is like a funnel. We all can see our ears, right? The outer part is like a funnel that is in a funnel structure. And then when sound enters in it, what happens whenever a sound enters, it will travel inside, and then at the end of which there is a stretched membrane, and that is called as the eardrum. So we are talking about how this hearing mechanism actually works. So the outer part of our ear is actually in a funnel structure. Whenever the sound enters into our ears, it will travel inside, and at the inner part there would be a stretched membrane kind of a structure. That stretched membrane kind of a structure is called as the eardrum. We all might have heard about this point, right? We have an eardrum in our ears. Yes, the next point is the eardrum is like a stretched rubber sheet. Sound vibration make the eardrum vibrate. Whenever any sound vibrations enter into our ears, what happens? This particular membrane what we have, it will start to vibrate. So we all know the sound we hear through vibrations only. And the eardrum sends vibration to the inner ear. I will show you all a picture of a ear, and then I'll again explain you all which is the inner part, which is the outer part, and everything. So now let us try to understand the mechanism. So basically the eardrum is a stretched rubber sheet, and that is actually sending the vibrations. The vibration make the eardrum to vibrate. Those vibrations are sent into the inner ear. So the vibrations are sent into the inner ear. And then from there, the signals are sent to the brains, because we all know the full body part which we all are having nervous systems through which the signals go to our brain. So from the inner ear, the signal goes to the brain, and that is how we actually hear any type of a sound. See, this is a picture of a ear. This particular thing is the outer part of the ear. You all can see this is in a funnel shape, isn't it? So you all can see that there would be three parts. That is, one is the outer ear, which is this part, that is in a funnel structure, and one we have is the middle ear, that is this particular pink part which we all have here, this pink part, and we have the inner ear, that is this blue color part. So we have three parts here in the ear. This is the outer part through which the sound enters, and it will come and it will pass through this space, and it will come and hit here the vibration. We have the membrane. We spoke about the eardrums. So this particular membrane will start to vibrate. Those vibrations are again sent to the inner ear. So what happens in the inner ear? You all can see here the nerves. So all these signals are sent to the brain. So through that actually we will be able to hear the sound. So this is how actually a cross section of an ear looks like. This is the outer part, this is the inner part, and this is the middle part, and this is the inner part. So I hope you all have understood how actually the hearing mechanism works, how our ears are actually helping us in listening to any kind of a sound. So the next point would be like, we must not put any sharp or pointed hard thing into our ear, because I told you all our eardrum is like a stretched rubber sheet, and it is very delicate. So our elders are actually telling us, do not put any sharp thing or hard thing inside our ear, because that could actually damage our eardrum. Then we cannot hear anything properly. That is why it is said that we must never put a sharp pointed or hard thing into our ear. It can damage the eardrum. So it can damage the eardrum. That is why we should not do anything like that. The damaged eardrum can impair the hearing. I told you, if our eardrum is actually damaged, we won't be able to hear anything. So we have to make sure we will never put any sharp or any hard things into our ears. So I hope you all have understood how sound needs a medium for propagation. How do we hear sound? What is the mechanism of hearing? And with that, we have come to the end of today's session. So today we have learned so many things, right? How sound actually propagates, what is the hearing mechanism. I hope you all have understood about all these topics. In our upcoming sessions, again we will meet and discuss about rest of the topics in the chapter sound. Until that, what you all will be doing, subscribe to our channel, watch all our videos, like it, and also share it with your friends and family. Until that, keep watching We Learning, keep learning.